So, whatever your first date is, the ease of yes is important. If you're asking her to drive across town or commit 4 hours or she needs to like wear something special,
Get ready for ages.
all of a sudden it's a lot. She's like weighing the pros and cons and the cost benefit of doing it. Where if it's like, oh, I wanted to get some steps in anyway, like I wanted to see if this guy was normal. Yeah, like sure, let's take a walk down the block and obviously plan the walk, on the beach or someplace where in a neighborhood where you have value to add, where it's going to be fun to look at stuff. Like it's not just, walking down a busy street with like semis driving by, but I'm pro walk if you feel confident and comfortable on a walk.
I guess from a safety perspective as well for women, a walking date during the daytime somewhere public is probably a pretty good start.
Exactly.
Interesting. So what about turning first date into second date? And also, what should guys be doing and saying on a first date? Like, how should they behave?
Yeah. So you want to be your authentic self first and foremost, but you also want to be. So when on a first date, you should be aiming to have her do 70% of the talking. There are studies that show when the more somebody talks, the more they perceived the date or the time spent to be positive. People like to talk. Realistically, a good date might be more balanced, more like 50-50. But the point here is you want to keep her talking, asking questions. Something men get wrong, especially when they're nervous, and it's understandable, is they'll end up rifling through questions in effort to keep her talking. And they're like, you said she should be talking 70%, so I just asked a lot of questions. And that's not exactly what you want to go for. I did explain it as you want to pull the conversational thread. So you ask a question on a topic you also find interesting, and then you go down the path of that topic. You don't need to beat a dead horse until you have nothing left to say, but then focus on that for a little bit, because that's also how you are going to create more of an emotional connection. If you're staying really surface level with your questions, that emotional connection isn't established. But if you can get her talking about travel, and then you're talking about trips you went on as a kid and how every year she went to the beach with her family and it's a really happy memory for her, those are good feelings that she's having and she's associating with the date. So think about structuring dates and having conversations around things she's going to want to talk about and are going to be fun for both of you to talk about and leave you feeling good.